Hey everybody, welcome back. David Eon here in the Open by Chance Vintage Toy and Nostalgia Museum. On the way into the media room, which is a little bit unnerved at the moment because we've been working in here again. You see I built two more of these cabinets, and these are going to be for the vinyl records because we sacrificed those cabinets to set up the comic book racks. So I needed to replace them, and I built two more. But of course, today we are doing the spinner rack, because every month we change out what is in the spinner rack. My wife has two sides and I have two sides, and we only put one book in each, as you can see, because we don't want to crush the books. This isn't a newspaper stand, it's a museum. So that means we each put 14 books in here, and we're a little bit behind schedule because, first week of February has already gone by. But here we go. And it looks like on my wife's side, she has decided to do a run of Christian comics, Spire and Logos and New Barber. Primarily, most of these are going to be like Bronze Age, I believe. You see right here, it's Born Again. There's Nixon. There's Nixon. 39 cents. And you'll notice there's going to be some odd pricing on these because they do not have ads in them at all. Spire Comics, Time to Run. And they're not all in the best condition. Actually, this one's in pretty decent shape. But usually when you find Christian comics, they're really rough. There's very few of these who have survived the years to find any in really, really decent shape. And this God Smuggler here. And they're based on true stories. Like there was a so-called God's Smuggler. I've read the book. He was a real person. All of these are going to be based on real people. They're not made up stories. They're like biographies in comic book form. This guy in Eastern Bloc Europe in the 60s used to hide Bibles in compartments inside of his car and smuggled them across European bloc borders during the Cold War, which in those days could have led to ridiculously long prison sentences or even execution. Very interesting story, actually. He got away with it and shouldn't have been able to, and that's why they call him God's Smuggler, because of the Bibles and because he continued to be able to smuggle books. Prison Praise. This is a Logos one. You rarely see Logos. There's 35-cent price tag on this one. And again, they typically don't have price tags. They typically don't have advertisements in these books. My Brother's Keeper. This is a a modern retelling of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, actually. You can probably guess that by how he's dressed. Spire Comics also had a run of Archie Comics, which she has a few of those. In His Steps, and this is a New Barber Christian comic. Somebody wrote their name on this one. And like I said, typically they're in pretty rough shape. These Christian books are well read and in, kind of raggedy condition the majority of the time. Prodigal Son, you can guess that story, where this came from. Cross and the Switchblade. Through Gates of Splendor. And these are going to be majority one-shot books, too. They're not like series. There's a New World Coming. Adam and Eve, that's pretty self-explanatory. Run, baby, run. And like I said, you know, this is another Logos comic. Next time you're at a convention, ask if they have any Spire or other Christian comics, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a vendor who does. In the presence of mine enemies. Said, you will write a confession or you will die. What is your choice? Here it is. He's not going for it. He's not going for it. Again, these are all based on either Bible stories or true stories. Then on my side here, I started off with some Dell. I was doing some Dell photo covers, basically. And then, but this one isn't quite a photo cover. Walt Disney's Man in Space, 10 cents. But it's such a nice, clean cover. I wanted to put it on display. And I like the Dell and even the Gold Key photo covers or art covers. They look like oil paintings. Most of these actually all of them, didn't I? I cleaned and pressed all of these. The Story of Ruth, this one came out really nice. It's nice and sharp. She defiled the pagan idol that demanded human sacrifice. I aim at the stars. The Werner von Braun story. Roy Rogers, who was in comics forever. Westerns were huge once upon a time. 40s through 60s. This is number 119. 119. Wild Bill Elliott. And Western comics were about as popular as Western TV shows, which at one point in the 50s made up for just over 50% of primetime television viewing. Beverly Hillbillies. And that's number 2 in their infamous jalopy. I have this jalopy. Would you like to see it? Let's go back into the Toy Room 1 here. If you haven't seen it before, there it is. That is the 1963 Ideal Toy Corporation Beverly Hillbillies truck, they call it. I call it the jalopy because it is a jalopy. Mine still works too. I did a video showcasing it and we wound it up and let it drive. Very rare to find these in functioning condition. As we'll head back into the media lounge here. So Beverly Hillbillies, number 2. Television show photo covers are very popular. You know, Munsters, Star Trek, any of that. And Gentle Ben, one shot. Not Ben from Grizzly Adams, different Ben. They have one shots of a lot of films you probably never even heard of. And then on this side, I did a run of Atari Force. Wanted to give some love to the Atari Force. Number 1. 1 through 7 is going to be in here. And if you grew up in that era, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you know how significant Atari was. Being the first, I mean, there were home systems, video game systems, before Atari. But the Atari home console was the first one to really pull off successfully marketing a home system with cartridges that people wanted to buy. So at one point, man, damn near everybody had an Atari, except for me. I had to, eventually I did get one. I bought it used with my own money. I got it used, and I believe it came with 50 cartridges. Different games. And that was my first Atari. I got it myself. But very culturally significant, and the beginning of the video game age. Like I said, there were other systems prior to Atari, but they just didn't pull it off. Atari was the first one to pull it off. Then you got Coleco and Intellivision didn't last very long. And then came the Nintendo system. Nintendo and then Sega. Still two of my favorite systems, actually. The original Nintendo NES and then the Sega Genesis. To this day, if I feel like playing a vintage video game, I think of those two first. But yeah, Atari, very significant, historically speaking, as far as video game culture is concerned. You see down here, too, I do have a bunch of vintage consoles. But there we are. What do you think of our selections this month? Anything there stand out for you? Catch your eye? Were you aware of the old, like, Bronze Age Christian comics? And sometimes you can find them, again, in Archie comics, because I know Spire did a bunch of Archies. And those are tough to find, too. So tell us your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed that this month. And I'll put a link to the playlist if you haven't seen any of these others at the end of the video. So if that's it, then what more can I say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.